Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Mocktails Podcast. Yay! So I'm your host, T, your favorite auntie, and I have with me
Bree, your second favorite podcast host.
and
I'm D. And the D is for
Delirious.
I guess it'll be delirious. I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's fine. It's okay.
Who knows?
We're going to get through this, guys. We got a lot of good topics to talk about today. And so we're going to just dive right into it. All right. So recently in the news, Trey Songz has popped up. Okay. And what's going on with Trey Songz is, I want to say it's wild, but it's really not that wild, like in the grand scheme of everything. But it's just one of those things we got to talk about. So he is being accused of, allegedly, these are not proven.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's not proven fact. Allegedly having kidnapped this woman. And while she was an active participant in doing some sexual behaviors with him, eventually it got to a place where he peed on her, and that's not what she liked.
Sounds R. Kelly-ish.
Very much, very much. I was reading some comments and they were calling him Trey Kelly. Yikes.
Sounds on brand.
Yikes. So, now mind you, this girl is like, she's known for like basically getting passed around, and she's all into like that kind of, hey, this is like my body count. She's known around like celebrities as being like just passed around, like she doesn't mind that. So let's just talk. What's your thoughts on that? On Trey Songz, on the woman, on the situation?
Well, I feel like if it's not what she wanted, then it's wrong. Just period. Regardless of how free and liberated she is. If she wasn't interested in it, then it shouldn't have happened. And it's wrong.
Yep. No means no.
No means no.
So, I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised by the allegations. Like, I've been to a Trey Songz concert and in college, just like a campus concert, and I got the vibe that he would definitely be open to taking some of these college girls home. Like, I got that vibe. So, I'm not surprised by the allegations.
Yeah.
So, she might be telling the truth in my eyes. And to add on to that, like we saw, like when this story came out, we started seeing stories from celebrities, like old stuff that celebrities had said pop up, like Keke Palmer, who she had warned, she'd warned everybody about him sexually intimidating her to the point where she had to hide and lock herself in a closet. So I am more on the side of he probably did it. He probably went too far.
Oh, I definitely think he went too far. Like, Trey Songz body count is probably out of this world. And it is disgusting to think about. It's really pretty gross. It's kind of weird because she never said no in her testimony type of thing where she explained this. She never said she didn't. She was just saying they were in the middle of stuff. And then he did it.
So is she suing him, or she like filed some police report, like as far as like sexual?
I don't know if it got to that point, but she was just putting it out there. Like she was just talking about it at first. So it wasn't, I don't think she was trying to like press charges or anything now. Not that I'm aware of. She might be doing something now that it's kind of circulating, but at the time, like all she said was like, ew, he peed on my eyelashes. I was like, miss, that is the last thing you should be concerned about.
So she was basically just like shaming him. She was like, he nasty.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that he wouldn't like let her out of the room because
I forgot the kidnapping part.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too. I was just thinking they were having consensual relations, and she said no, and he was like, I'm doing it anyway.
No, not quite to that
That's
level,
what I was
but
thinking.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, man, it's tough. It's tough out here. And she's also one of those, like, she was explaining in her interview, they're always lit. That's what she says. They're always drinking or, like, both parties.
Doing some drugs?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like
drugs.
something, you know. Because she was explaining a lot of her escapades, which we're not going to get into on this podcast, but a lot of the stuff that she was doing to other people. And I'm just like...
Any other celebrity names mentioned?
No. Not outside. No. We'll talk about the behind the scenes. But yeah. So what's your like take on this whole kind of new wave of like sexual liberation with women?
Well, they can do what they want to do. If a lady wants to talk about what she's done and who she's done, good for her. That's not for me. Like, I'm more of like, do what you want to do in your own privacy, but you don't necessarily have to talk about it. And that goes for men too. That's just not like women don't do it. That goes for men too. I just don't really want to hear about what's going on in other people's bedrooms or wherever. Somebody else's bedroom, whatever.
Even in songs? You don't want to hear about it?
So I don't really listen to that kind of music, dang yeah.
I was just wondering. I'm not saying I do either. I'm just wondering. Okay.
What's your thoughts on sexual liberation?
I feel like people should be able to do whatever it is they want to do, unless it like literally harms someone else. If that's what you want to do, if you want to be liberated and just be free and do your thing, I think that's fine. I don't mind. Because it's not hurting me and it's not my business. Let people live
as long
their
as you're
lives.
not hurting anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah. People just need to be aware of the consequences. That I think that part is often like not talked about, is like in this whole like sexual freedom and liberation is just like, I mean, you could do that. You could do that. But at the same time, all actions have consequences.
Definitely.
You know.
True.
So, you stumble across a crazy a time or two, and that's kind of what happens. We see that happen kind of. I want to put my girl out there, but Meg.
Hi, girl, Meg.
You see you mess with a crazy a time or two.
You might get shot.
Ooh, we not. We here for you, Meg.
We know Tori shot Meg.
He's guilty. No,
He's 100% guilty.
he's definitely
If
guilty.
Meg said it, I believe it.
Woman syndrome. They were talking about him on that other with that girl that was talking about Trey Songz. Her friend was talking about Tori and has some stories about him too. So I believe it. I believe it.
Believe black women. We don't lie.
That part.
Right.
That part.
Only Meg, because other girls weren't black. So I was gonna say protect black women, but we just talked about Meg.
Oh,
Yeah.
Got it.
It's fine. So thinking about sexual liberation.
That song has been stuck in my head all day long. Sorry.
What song? Go ahead and talk about it.
WAP.
What?
What's this about?
What does that stand for? I don't know.
I'm not saying those words.
I was like, you don't have to
You
say
can
but
look it up.
I
You
know.
know what it stands for. WAP. And it's been stuck in my head all day long.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. And I love a bop.
So what's your
I
thoughts
don't even need
behind
the
it?
words. I just need the, little beat.
My thoughts are the same thing with the other idea. Like, I have no problem with it.
I mean, I've listened to the song and it got me moving.
It's
Like I enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, they're really clever with these lyrics. Because I had to look the lyrics up because I have a hard time following rap music. And I was like, oh, that's really smart of them. Like, oh, that's a good one.
What kind of societal impact is this going to have? Because you see, it's raised a lot of controversy. People are saying this is like the first time it has ever been this like graphic.
It's nothing new. It's not
new
new.
at all.
When we were kids, it was milkshake. We didn't know what they were talking about.
I was going to say my neck, my back.
Yeah, we didn't know what they were talking about.
I mean, I knew that one.
That I knew.
Specific.
She was very
I took it
visual.
literally. My
She
neck,
gave
my
it-
back.
But then but there are other words that follow that part. part. It's my neck, my back, my
But see,
and
I didn't know the word. That's all I knew was the chord, you know?
Okay.
I wasn't really, kids don't be thinking
Just
about
gotta
that. And also, if you care so much and you
Just do
dislike
it,
the
do
song
it.
so much, slap on the parental controls.
Then you. I'm just kidding. I'll stop.
The song is for for adults.
Adults. That's it. Adults, not children.
Does this like degrade black women? Because that's been like one of those like buzz from this like whole thing happening. Even though they are profiting wildly
Yeah, because
from this whole song and
Number
video
one,
and everything. So does this put a tarnish on us?
We've already been degraded, so.
Oh.
I mean,
Ooh. Ooh. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it's hard because black women are seen as like a monolith. And so understanding black people, but then especially black women. And so there's going to be different sectors of different type of black women. And so people have to understand that, I mean, I personally wouldn't be out there individually rapping that song with my name like listed on it, but that's how they're getting their coins nowadays, and can't stop that coin from coming in. Especially,
They knock the hustle.
right? Especially when like so many men prophesize. No, is that the word? Prophetize. Prophetize.
Is it a word? You're still talking about being a prophet.
Like a
that's not-
prophet.
I know what you mean.
I mean,
We're
yeah,
thinking
they profit off a black
PHET,
woman's body.
not FIT.
But
I don't know if that's a word. But I know what you're
maybe
making
people-
a profit.
Maybe people
to be
don't
a
like
word.
it because Meg and Cardi
makes
took it
them
back. They're like, we're gonna make money off
uncomfortable.
what you're making money off our bodies. We're gonna make money. We're gonna make the money off of it.
I just hate that like Meg and Cardi are like seen as like degrading it, but Janae Aiko, she be singing
I know
some
you love her song, The Fairy. The Fairy. She does the same thing.
Same thing, it's just a little smoother.
And it's
Yeah.
not, well, I mean, it is still kind of graphic. She just sings it instead
Yes.
of raps it harshly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I think, but that can go into a lot of different things with like colorism and
Yeah.
she looks
That's
exotic
yeah.
and you know all those kind of other things that
Exotic.
that word.
Don't know.
It's kind of toxic in our
I don't think we should talk about that.
our
today.
circle. So, yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Any other thoughts on that?
I mean, like, there are black people, we're not all the same. There are all types of black people, just like there are all types of white people. Everybody's different. Everybody came from different backgrounds. Like, Meg does not represent all black women. That's what people need to remember.
All the black women from Houston.
Yes. Meg is
I'm
Meg.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We are individuals, so people need to remember that.
How do we feel about Kylie in the video? Because that like just stirred up so many people's anger.
It did.
I don't know why.
I
they
thought
were
it was
so
rude.
disturbed.
I thought the way people responded to it was rude. Like,
Yeah.
no, why did they put Kylie in it? They should have put Jordan. Jordan was still wrong. We know Jordan was wrong. So stop trying to make Jordan right because Jordan was wrong.
I was like, Kylie just out here trying to get her coins. Like, let her be. Let her be. Y'all just, anything with Kardashian surrounding it is just so much, like, hatred. And sometimes for no reason. Sometimes, yeah, I can understand, but, like...
Cardi said she tried to represent all different kinds of women because there are a variety of women out there, and a lot of women have WAP. So she just wanted to highlight that. It's not just black women that had WAP. She wanted to show that. Good for her. Diversity and inclusion, right?
That's what matters. Inclusion. Inclusion.
So how would you feel, say you had a daughter, y'all rocking with this or not?
In what way?
Her creating this content.
And she was out there shaking it in nothing and singing about her life,
Her walk.
her personal life.
Her walk.
What you doing, D?
Me myself, I would probably have a conversation with her about it, but at the end of the day, it's her life to live. She can make whatever kind of music she wants to make. It's her life to live. And I have no right to say, you can't make music like that, because that's not Christ-like. It's her life. And she has that, ooh, that was a party foul. She has her, option to live her life however she wants to live it. And that's what she chooses to do. I still might bop to it, but...
Yeah.
Me? I would not like it. I'd be like, you out here embarrassing me.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. Kind of.
I'm like, I
It's fine.
I am definitely hypocritical. I'd be like, go do your thing, Megan Cardi, and then I'd be like,
Like, not my daughter.
snatch you up. Like, you ain't got no home training out here on the gram or whatever platform at that time.
Platform, because it won't be the grand.
It might not be the. Well, the way they be
I
stealing these.
would just have to
platforms.
express that I would not want her out there like that.
No.
But in the
Child
end,
of mine.
if she's an adult, it would be her own
With the
decision
booty,
that
though?
she would have to deal with the consequences.
First of all, where you get that booty from?
Not
Because
me.
it's not from your mom.
No.
So no. First and foremost. So
my co-host had to tell everybody I got small booty. I see.
I was talking about myself. She bitching. Hey.
Oh.
You guys can't tell, but yeah. So I wouldn't like it, and I'm just hypocritical like that, and I don't care. Y'all can call me what you want to call me.
Yeah, but
I ain't letting my. I mean, it's not that I can
But she's
let.
gonna be
I was
cool.
gonna say I can't let.
Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna be like.
they'll just have to do it and learn. If it was a mistake, they would learn from it. If they felt like it was a mistake, they would deal with the consequences.
So you don't think anything's wrong with it, but you wouldn't want your daughter to do it?
I don't like the reputation that like they're now Meg is forever and Cardi is forever, and they have been since they not just because of this song. If Meg, I promise you, if Meg never puts out another video or a song with her just shaking booty or talking about whatever, she's not going to keep rising the charts. And it's because she has this like, this is what she does.
Yeah, she has a look.
Right. And if she doesn't fulfill that, then she's not going to profit from it. And so,
And it seems like that's the only way a female rapper can be successful.
especially, yeah, if she's a rapper. So I wouldn't want her to get stuck in this box wanting to break out from that. But she can't because that's all she's known for.
Yep.
And just watch, like, girl, put your pants on. Ugh. We don't need to see that all every day. Every day. You need to do that.
Every day. You don't twerk in the mirror every day?
Every day?
You don't do it every day? Every other day?
I'll be stiff sometimes. Sometimes I don't
But do
move
you
from the
try?
couch. No, not every day.
Every other day?
Unless I'm holding in a fart. And then you squeeze it a little, you be moving it.
I don't know.
You know.
That's just you.
Yeah,
I'm
Thanks,
not
babe.
about that life.
That's not, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think people are putting too much pressure on them, like to try to make them a role model, but they've never been tried to put themselves as that. Like they came out doing this kind of music, so why are you trying to tell them they need to be better now?
Cardi was
Like,
a whole stripper. Like,
yeah, yes,
Right. I think by role model, they just mean though, like you got to use your platforms wisely, because as a celebrity, you do. That's just the like nature that you take on when you become that.
But I feel like
Not saying that
they use their social media and that kind of thing to speak out about causes they're passionate about. Like you got Cardi interviewing Joe Biden for Elle magazine and interviewing Bernie Sanders, like putting that content out there so her followers know, what these presidential candidates stand for. Like she's doing that. She's doing that. She doesn't have to put it in her music. She's not doing nothing. She's not just putting out nasty music. She's doing other stuff on her platform.
I mean, I agree with that. It's just, it's something that they have to be cognizant of, is what I'm saying. As a celebrity, that's just.
But we should not put all our faith in celebrities.
No, for sure not.
People idolize celebrities too much. Maybe looking at the wrong people.
Should not have any other idols before me. No other idols.
They are human, just like us.
Exactly. All right. So let's kind of transition into something that will probably pop up multiple times through our podcast. So, I don't know. I think almost every episode, if not every episode so far, y'all know that we are single. Until that changes, y'all might hear it almost all the time. But with that being said, we like to prepare ourselves and be ready to like stumble into our blessings, you know. You never know when that man might knock on that door and be waiting for you. So, we have a list of questions that we have prepared and that we just build upon in order to, like, I wouldn't say like interview, but like
vet.
You
Or
need
just to
vet,
get to know people.
Yes, we need to vet people. We need to ask the right questions when dating. So
Exactly.
we got a little template.
So we are going to kind of walk through a few of our questions from time to time, just so you can get some thoughts and what we think about, and some of the questions that you can also take and apply and use as well if you need to ask people questions when you're going through the dating process, because we don't have any other time to waste. So when you see a red flag, if they're not answering these questions like you need them to answer them, then hey, use it to evaluate. Okay? So let's start with, okay, do you have a success list to complete before you get into a committed relationship? D.
Are we answering these right now?
Correct.
The list that we have for the men.
Correct.
We're answering.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just confirming. A success list before I get married. I want to.
In a committed relationship.
Before a committed relationship. I think I want to be in therapy like consistently before then. Thanks. Before then, because I know I need it. I've just, especially with COVID right now, I'm struggling with, because everything's online, and I can't. I mean, I probably need to put that to the side and just do it anyway. But that's one thing that I would say that I need, was on my list before being in a committed relationship.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Black Girls Therapy or something. They have like therapy.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it. I'll open it up on Instagram. But
and they're doing virtual sessions and stuff.
I know.
I know it's still virtual.
Yeah, it's still
right
virtual,
now.
and even our
Virtual
church
is
does
live.
it. And that's where I would want to do it. I think I would want to have a Christian therapist.
Yeah,
Definitely. But figuring all that out right now with all of the screens and whatnot, I have to figure that out. Is it Black Girl Therapy?
It's something like that.
Therapy for
Black girls.
That's
Yeah,
what it is. Therapy
that's
for
it.
Black girls.
Check it out.
I be trying to know stuff.
You be doing
Yeah,
So that's one of mine. But what you got?
For me, I feel like I've done my checklist, like as far as before I was like, oh, okay, I need to finish getting my degrees that I wanted to get. Yes, I am educated 2 times over.
Team 2 degrees.
Over
Oh, it's
here.
over.
2. So I really thought that was big, because like I wasn't gonna put that on hold for anybody, and also because I was like moving places, and also I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm in a place. When I lived in Mississippi, I was like low key, like I wanted to be with somebody, but like I didn't, because I never wanted to have that conversation of, I know I'm not going to stay here. Like I didn't want to find somebody who was also from that area, because I was like, I ain't doing this. Like y'all can miss me with that. So now that I'm in a place where I feel like I could be here like for the long run if I needed to, I'm more open to like being ready. I'm also trying to like make my year basically just being by myself and all things that come with that. And so that year is coming up September 23rd, 2020. And so
It's
right around the corner. Once I complete that, I've been doing a lot of growth this year, personal growth. I think I'll be ready to hopefully be back out there.
Yeah. Well, for me, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a success list. I think a lot of guys have a success list, as in they like, I want to be making this amount of money and I need to have a house, and like, I feel like that's a guy thing. So guys, please, if you're watching, please comment and let me know if that's true. But for me, the only thing I was thinking, the only thing I felt like I need to have in order before I got a serious relationship is like moving to Dallas. I was like, I just need to have my own, I need to get myself, like, build my own life here in Dallas, like have my own life, my own friends, so that my identity wouldn't be tied to a man. And that's kind of where I was with that. Like, I don't have like a checklist of things I need to, like, I don't need to be making a certain amount of money or in this career or that type of thing.
Good. I like that. Okay. What's our next question? Let me see. You guys pick a question.
Do you like cats?
No. And a man that has a cat would probably kind of scare me. Like, I feel like that's an odd thing to have for guys. A cat. I feel like most guys have dogs for pets.
There are men who have
There's-
cats.
I was gonna say,
It's rare.
or
What you call?
Did you?
What is happening?
I really don't like cats. 'Cause, like, I saw a cat like
Just
climbing up the
bypass-
wall.
What just happened? What is that from? What
No, I just made that up.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I wasn't gonna miss that opportunity. I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I don't know what that. Okay.
Because cats, you know.
I mean, I know what cats do, but I'm just still confused. I thought you were referring to someone who said that, and I was like, who said that?
They're rare.
Oh.
But it's okay.
Dad joke.
Oh, that really tickled me. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Cats are a no for me.
The type of men that I go for or would want don't have cats. As nicely put as I can say that.
You laughed while you said it. I don't think that was nice.
I mean, it's no like offense to like people who have cats, but y'all are some weird people. Cat people are weird people. They are like, it's kind of
Yeah. The litter box is a no for me.
Yeah, I don't like litter
Yeah.
boxes. Those are kind of gross.
that's very gross. And cats are just ugh.
I personally don't like cats, and if I got with someone who had cats, I would have to be around them, and that is a no for me. I don't care that they like cats. I just hate them. Like,
Right.
Hate
The
them.
hair, the shedding,
The smell, the
the
slickness.
eyes,
the
glow in
purring
dark
noise. I hate the
eyes,
purring noise.
Yes.
That is the.
The like clawing on everything.
Cat people probably like, oh yeah, the purring.
They
the
love it. They
claws."
love
Like,
It's not cute to me.
no. No. But yeah, so that's one. It's surprisingly enough that question made our list, because sometimes you have to know that like straight up. I got slight allergies to cats, so I can't. And if that's like a really, honestly, like we were joking about it, but like if somebody is holding on to a cat for like they're not getting rid of that, this may have been a cool date, but listen,
Like
I
the
can't.
milk.
Serial killer vibes, but
Yeah. So I'll
Not the cat, the milk. It's a lot.
it's a story.
yeah.
Not the cat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a question, and so this is not necessarily a question we can answer. We want our listeners to maybe like
gotta
leave
get
some
that.
comments. So in our previous episode, we talked about ladies shooting their shot. So what we've been told is like guys only want ladies to shoot their shots through hints. And so our question has been, what is a hint? Like, give us some examples. We need to know, because I'm trying to shoot my shot. And apparently that's through a hint, but I can't give the answer as to what a hint is. I can't wink at you because my eyes literally, I can't wink. So just drop us some comments and let us know. Like, what do you guys think these men would think a hint is?
I think, yeah, like,
You're so funny.
and they don't want me pushing them because I'm strong. Be knocking them into next week. Like, yeah, you're hilarious. I don't know. It's really only certain type of men, and I don't want to outcast them because those are the men. I want me a good godly man, but y'all godly men be on something different. You do, because we'll get into this in different episodes when I talk about some dating stories back in the day. But those guys, they don't mind hints. It's the ones who be trying to follow whoever's teachings in the word of God. I don't know. But they're very much like, don't let us know for sure that you like us. Just hint.
Because we can't handle it.
But the more I think about it, those guys that we've heard it from, I'm not trusting them to be the majority.
Me neither. I'm praying they're not.
And I can't do hints because I'm not subtle. I'm not subtle.
It's all or nothing.
It is what it is. So, exactly. Can you hit us with one more question, Dee, to wrap this up, and then
Okay.
we'll wrap up this episode. We have a long list.
It is. How many?
It
like
is.
50 questions, basically.
Right now it's 40.
I'll be prepared when I go out. When the world opens back up and I go on some dates, I'll have my list of questions right here on my phone.
I got a good one. Are there any jobs you wouldn't want your potential partner doing? Examples. Should I list the examples?
Of course.
Planned Parenthood, factory work, social justice, social media influencer.
I would say there are jobs that I would not want my spouse to do because I don't know if I could support them in particular careers. Like Planned Parenthood, I don't think I could support them in that. And like social activism, fine, but there are some, some things where I'm like, that's a little bit too extreme. Like there are some you have to research these groups that people work in because they could be up to some stuff. You need to know exactly who you're working with. If they were out there doing good for the community, in a Christian way, yes. But there are some groups that I'm like, no, I can't support you in that. And that would be something. Hopefully, that would be something we would like. Hopefully, that would be something that came up before marriage. Like, hopefully, because I think people do change careers. So if that person, my spouse, changed careers, like, I would let them know that I am not a fan of this particular career. We need to have a bigger conversation.
What about you, Dee? That's good.
I'm still thinking. You go.
Okay. I definitely can see what you're talking about with that. Personally, this is one I've struggled with growing up, but I'm trying to be more open to it if the right person came along. And it's having actually a pastor, because I grew up with a dad as a pastor and have seen that role is not light, and to have to maintain the presence and the upkeep of a first lady of a church, and just pastors do a lot of work, and then the first lady has to do a lot of work, and oftentimes the first lady also has another job, and sometimes pastors have another job too. Mm-hmm. But the dedication that you have to take to feed your flock, and this person's sick, you got to go visit them in the hospital, and this is happening over here, you got to be there for that person, and this person is grieving at 12 a.m. in the morning, and this is happening. And then there's the church beef, because we know churches aren't always smooth, and you have to deal with that, and just be it's just a lot. And so if the right person came along where they had some sort of where I was just like, this is the one. And
Yeah.
he was just like really into, you know, if he was a pastor, I would just have to trust that God knew what he was doing calling me first lady. But we gonna have that church lit.
Yeah.
We gonna be in there lit. You
I'm
know?
definitely not looking for a pastor. Like, I'm not out there like, oh, I need a pastor. But if he came along and he was the one, I would, you know.
Right. There's just so many implications with
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Can you be a first lady and listen to WAP?
In the bedroom. I wouldn't advertise it.
I just in the bed. I can't listen in the car when I'm driving to work.
Not with the kids.
As
As a
I
pastor,
have kids right now.
I'm just saying hypothetically for the life. Like, I mean, if you're by yourself, it just depends on how you want to raise like your family and like what you feel is like okay with yourself outside of
Maybe the instrumental.
just imagine that. Yeah. I mean, there's like, and it's like really it's a fine balance, and that's why it's like my parents had restrictions on like what we could listen to. Not saying that I wasn't like still culturally, like I knew, like I said, in the last episode, my neck, my back, and like stuff like that. But most of that was kind of like sneaking anyway. But I also knew like, order my steps in your word, dear. Like, you know, it was like a good balance. And they wanted to train us up like that, which made me have an appreciation for some gospel music to this day. But that's just one that's a hard one, because that's like, at that point, that's what I'm like, there's so many implications. If you had a pastor, can you drink? Can't at home. And like, what does that like, and that could be for any spouse, like whatever, but you know, there's different, the outside perspective. Like if I had people come, or perspective, yeah, like if I had people come over for dinner and they see my wine chiller with like bottles on bottles, is that something that,
You turn water into wine.
is that something that we can, you know, it's just, you have to think about that. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Interesting. I think mine, the one that I've said before, is a social media influencer. That's just not, that's a little, like, is it a real job? I mean, yes, you make money off of it, but is that actually considered
Is it
work?
sustainable? Like, how
Yeah,
long is
it's
like,
work.
there's always something new that comes along.
Right.
How
I
long
mean,
is
it is
Instagram going to
work.
be around?
I'll give you that. It is
Innovative.
work. There's
Yeah.
a lot you have to do, but I don't know if that's what I would, the type of person I would see myself with,
Yeah, I
being
don't.
who I am.
I don't like guys who take a lot of photos of themselves. Like, it's a little vain to me. So I probably wouldn't be attracted to that type of guy that was a social media influencer from the beginning.
Yeah. So
Same, sis. Same.
I get that. I totally get that. All right. So we are going to kind of wrap up this episode. We want to give a Black-owned business shout out to, you go for it.
Who we got today?
Who we got today?
The barbecue place that we went to.
It's like
I don't remember
Smokey
what it was called.
John's.
Yeah,
Smokey John's barbecue in Dallas. Really good.
It was really
Really
good.
good.
I had the baked potato with like some
Yes, the baked
chopped
potato
beef
with brisket.
Yeah, it was yummy. It was really good.
I had some ribs. They were good.
Yeah, it was good.
I really enjoyed them. Shout out to Smokey John's. If you're in the DFW area and want a barbecue, support Black-owned businesses. That's what we're here for. And we just thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mocktails Podcast. Join us next time for some more cocktails and some more
Mine is too.
Some more conversation.
conversation. Bye, y'all.
Bye.